Alright guys, welcome to Flavo Oriana's MMA show. I'm your host, Flavo Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Alright guys, so it is official, just like what I said earlier this week, or just a couple days ago. The UFC just announced Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. Alright, it is going to be for the lightweight title. Alright, right now, I'm not sure if that's going to be the main event or the co-main event. In my personal opinion, it should definitely be the main event, just because that fight has more eyeballs, more attention than the light heavyweight title fight, than Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prochazka, for obvious reasons. One, Oliveira, the guy's has been on a sick run. All right, the guy hasn't lost since, I believe, was it Paul Felder, if I'm not mistaken. That was like the last time he ended up losing. You know, the guy's been on a run. He defeated Kevin Lee, defeated Tony Ferguson, defeated Michael Chandler, defeated Dustin Poirier. That's a lot of fighters on that list that he's went through. I mean, Ferguson, potential Hall of Famer, if not Hall of Famer. Dustin Poirier, Hall of Famer, in my opinion, right now, too. Michael Chandler, the guy's been inside the UFC for 3 fights, and it has been in high-level fights. Dan Hooker, Oliveira, now Justin Gaethje. And now he's going to be fighting Justin Gaethje, who might be one of the scariest fighters in the 155-pound division. My personal opinion, this is this screams pure violence. I highly love this fight. I love the matchmaking of this fight. All right, it was clearly the only fight to make for both fighters. Okay, Gaethje, he lost to Khabib. 1 year later, fights Michael Chandler, wins by decision, by unanimous decision. Okay. And he puts himself back into title contention, okay? And Charles Oliveira, guy's been on a sick run. The guy, really failed, in my opinion, at 145, goes up to 155, and just starts dominating, okay? It shows that, you know what, that you can have a resurgence late into your career, and Oliveira seems like the real deal. Now, the guy's been on a sick tear. There's rumors. It's not official yet, but it's just rumors for right now that it looks like the fight is going to be taking place in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. If that's the case, that makes all the sense in the world why you have 2 Brazilian champions, try to defend their belt in their native home country. Okay, I would imagine the arena, the stadium, or wherever it's going to be. I have a feeling it might be the stadium, because it might be the same stadium where Verdum versus Stipe happened. If that happens, then Oliveira and Glover Teixeira, mainly Oliveira because he lives there now, is gonna get a standing ovation. The crowd's gonna be raucous. I'm very excited for this fight. If I look through online, I don't think the whole card has been fully set yet. Maybe just the main card, if I'm not mistaken, or they're possibly just working on it. Give me a second, but to me personally, it's a high-level, mixed martial arts fight. There's a debate, can Justin Gaethje put away Oliveira, just like how Chandler had the ability to, but just couldn't follow through? Isn't it really depend on my situation, the situation that I'm thinking of? Justin Gaethje, in order for him to win, he's going to have to win by knocking this guy out. He's going to have to win by knocking Oliveira out, but not fall into the guard of Charles Oliveira. And the reason why I say he shouldn't fall into the guard of Charles Oliveira is just because I don't think Gaethje has the ability to maneuver out of, high-level jiu-jitsu artists, okay? We saw Chandler be able to do it, okay? You saw the Dustin Poirier, he failed, and he has a big background in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I don't think Justin Gaethje really practiced it, in my opinion. I could be highly wrong, and I could not know what the F I'm talking about, but I think in order for Gaethje to win, he's going to have to establish those leg kicks and to limit what's called Oliveira striking. And then also he's going to have to really try to knock this guy's head off. Now, my biggest fear is, can Gaethje sustain that for 5 rounds? Because Gaethje throws a lot of power, a lot of force into his punches. We saw that in the Tony Ferguson fight where he was just trying to knock Tony's head off. And Trevor Whitman told him, just take 10% off of your punches. You're going all out and you're missing, and you're loading up way too much, where Ferguson is able to try to dodge the punches. And you saw what he ended up doing. He took back a little bit of the punches. He was able to connect. Now, my thing with Oliveira is, you could drop him, but if you drop him, are you going to be that, persistent on you wanting to jump into that guard, right, and try to go for the ground and pound, because Oliveira could easily sneak in a triangle chokehold. He could sneak in an arm bar. He could sneak into many different maneuvers. He could actually possibly ground Justin Gaethje, which is something that, you're not going to want if you're a Justin Gaethje fan. So it's a lot of stuff to put into place over here for Oliveira. It's very, very simple, in my opinion. You got to be able to absorb a lot of the punches from Justin Gaethje if you want to try to get into the close proximity of Justin Gaethje to try to get a hold of him. And I think the easiest way for Oliveira to win is win by submission. My thing is, knowing Justin Gaethje, just like what happened in the Khabib fight, he's not going to tap out. You're going to have to put this guy to sleep or break his arm. Now, my opinion, what's going to be the likelihood of Oliveira going for? I think he's going to probably most likely go for the rear naked chokehold. My personal opinion, I think Oliveira retains the title. I think Oliveira is overall the better mixed martial artist than Justin Gaethje. I think Oliveira has way more tools at his disposal as opposed to Gaethje. But I think it was going to be, in my humble opinion, I think this fight possibly goes to the 4th or 5th round. I think Oliveira somehow survives, goes for the rear naked chokehold, and submits Justin Gaethje. So, yeah, guys, I mean, it's a fight that I'm looking forward to. It's happening on May 7th. The rumor is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But they haven't made any confirmation about that, just because of everything that's been happening within the world with COVID and Omicron. But yeah, guys, I mean, look, UFC 274. Oliveira versus Gaethje. I mean, they announced Ariane Carnelossi versus Lupi Godinez, Norma Dumont versus Macy Chiesa on that card. So yeah, I mean, you already see Brazilian fighter. Everything is screaming as for why this fight is most likely going to end up taking in Brazil. Now, there's also a rumor. Now, this one's not 100% accurate. It's more like a 50-50 type of thing. We've been seeing on Twitter Khamzat Chimaev and Gilbert Burns telling each other, I'm ready whenever you are. We want to fight the fight. Sign the contract, this, that, and the third. It's very possible that we might see Gilbert Burns and Khamzat Chimaev on the UFC 274 card. I honestly would have thought it would have happened in April. They were talking about April 9th. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I think the UFC kind of wants to put Gilbert Burns to fight in his home country just to load up the card. All right. I have a strong feeling for UFC 274. They're going to really try to stack up the card. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Jose Aldo on this card, Jessica Andrade, try to really stack up this card, because you know what they're doing with that UFC London card. You have Tom Aspinall on that card, Paddy Pimblett. You also have the guy, he just recently got signed. He was on Ariel Helwani's the MMA Hour. I believe his name is, what's it called? Muhammad, I can't pronounce the guy's name, but guy's like 30-0 flyweight. He's in to fight Cody Durgan. I have a strong feeling, just like what the UFC does historically, whenever they travel to an international country, they really try to load up that card with the hometown grown talent, just like what they ended up doing when they ended up going to Abu Dhabi around Halloween weekend. They ended up loading up that card with Russian fighters and fighters of that region. But yeah, guys, Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira. It's official, May 7th. Will that be the co-main event? Will that be the main event? In my humble opinion, I really do believe that should be the main event. Historically, the UFC likes to put the heavier weight higher up on the card. But for me, it doesn't make sense, just because Oliveira is, more box office, in my opinion, than Glover Teixeira. Teixeira's been around for a while, but Oliveira, his fight style is way more exciting for the casual audience as opposed to what Glover Teixeira has done in his career. But yeah, guys, that's all for everything on Flavo Oriana's MMA show. I'm your host, Flavo Oriana. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Really helps out the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, guys, and have a good one. See ya.